This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today I'm joined by my friend
Greg Dickson from the podcast Hooked on Geek.
Today we're going to be doing a full game playthrough of Keyforge. It's the new Richard Garfield announcement from Fantasy Flight. It's the two-player game, a tactical card game, not kind of like Magic, but from the same sort of genre with lots of different ways to play. But today we're going to be doing a full playthrough. A few things about that. Number one, I have two unique decks. Greg's been playing with one. I've been playing with one, so this is the ones that we're familiar with. It's the only two we have. We don't have the base game, which comes with some starter decks and some tokens. So all the tokens you see here are going to be sort of from other games and generic stuff. So those are not what will come in the base box. And the last thing to know is that when you're looking at the wide shot, the cards that you'll be able to see your way straight up will be my cards. Greg will be sitting on the other table. Those cards will be 180 degrees from what you're looking at. Without further ado, let's get started and see who's going to win.
Let's play.
Here are the two unique decks that we're playing with. The object of the game is to forge 3 keys. These are prototype components because I don't have the base game. To forge a key, if you have 6 amber on your turn at the beginning, you can forge a key. The first one to get 3 first wins.
All right, I got first play, so I get to draw 7 cards, but I can only play 1 card. I'm going to play this action card, which has a play action. It says your opponent discards a random card from their hand.
Oh.
This also gives me an ember.
This one is gone and discarded. I am going to play this house, the firehouse, and I am going to play this creature, the troll. So it's going to come into play exhausted. It has 8 strength. It has no defense. But on a reap action, the troll can heal 3 of its damage. So This card is going to go here. It comes in exhausted, but that's all I'm going to be doing this turn. So I'm going to ready it back up, and I'm going to draw back up to my my hand limit.
So we're going to bring in John Smith as a creature. He has elusive, which means the first time he's attacked, no damage is dealt.
It comes in exhausted.
Yes. And then we'll also bring in I have no idea how to pronounce that, but we'll just call him the Dominator. He comes in exhausted and stunned, which means next turn he won't even, which means I can't unflip him this round. He has taunt, which means his neighbors can't be attacked unless you have taunt when you attack. And then I think we'll also... so this one becomes unexhausted. I played 2 cards, so I draw 2.
Yeah, and this guy would normally have a stun card on him, so we would know that you have to take an action to basically unexhaust him and get rid of the stun card. So we're just going to leave him like this since we don't have a stun card.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pick the Shadow faction, and this Poison Wave it deals 2 to each creature. So I'm just going to play that. So every creature, regardless of if you're protected by the taunt or not, will take 2 damage.
This also damages John Smith, even though he's elusive, because it's not an attack action.
So this one is going to die, but it's each creature. So
0
mine's
as
going to take. By the way, these damage counters are not with the game. These are ones I got from another game because I don't have the whole base game, just the decks. Which means that this creature is going to go away because it had taken 2 damage. So you can go ahead and remove that. It goes into your discard pile.
Easy come, easy go.
I'm also going to bring in this creature because I have selected the Shadows faction. The card I just played, the action card, is going into my discard pile. And this is elusive. The first time it's attacked, nothing happens. And it has an ability when we reap. So I'm going to bring this in. And of course it comes in. I can choose which side to bring this on. And I'm going to do that for now. And I am going to now ready and then draw.
All right, I'm picking the Dis faction. This is a creature that says, right when I play him, if your opponent has 0 ember, which is the case, I gain 2.
Oh, man.
So we'll throw him into here. He comes in exhausted initially.
Yeah, and then the ember goes right onto your identity card, which is usually down below this battle line.
This is the one from prior turn as well. So now I have 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So that unexhausts, and then I draw a card, and you're up. Now he's still turned because I haven't used the Mars faction since I played
Right,
them.
because he's theoretically stunned.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to play the Shadow faction. I'm first going to bring in this creature, and he's just going to come in exhausted. When he does fight, he'll be able to steal something, so he's going to come in exhausted.
Oh, great.
I'm also going to complete this. I'm going to play this routine job, which means as soon as it's action, when I play it, I can steal one, and if there's another one of these in my discard pile for everyone, I'll steal one. So I'm going to steal one ember from them to me, and this will go in my discard pile. I'm also going to play this creature from the same faction, of course.
Holy
and
cow.
this one, the Urchin, it has the elusive, which means it doesn't get hit the first time it's attacked. And as I play it, I steal one. So I'm going to steal another. This is my favorite faction, by the way.
These shadow guys are the worst.
They're my favorite. That's all I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to now ready these and then draw.
You smacked me around enough as it is. All right. I'm going to choose the Mars faction, so that untaps him, finally.
And that's all he does for this turn, because now you would normally be removing a stun card.
I'm going to play this action card. It's called Ammonia Clouds. Unfortunately, it hurts me as well, but it deals 3 damage to each creature.
Wow.
So it's going to kill a couple of yours.
Yeah, this one's going to die.
Hurting myself
Okay,
as well.
so this one here is dead because it took 3 and it has no defense. So.
Yep. Urchin's also dead.
And notice also that this one had elusive, but that's only when you're fighting it. The action cards can still affect those.
Right. I didn't fight with a creature, so he died. No, this guy's also gone.
That is correct. So this one is also gone.
I couldn't let those stealers stay out for too long.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to draw a card, and you're up.
Which was smart, because I was about to reap and get a bunch of ember.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to bring in this creature, and it basically comes in ready in play. Okay?
Oh, nice.
So he's going to come in and he's ready, and so now I am going to, I can activate these creatures because they're of that faction. This one has 6. This one has 5 left.
Right,
so,
still 4 more hit points.
Yeah, so
Plus a defensive one.
I'm going to use this one. Either way,
I'm hitting you back pretty hard.
yeah.
You don't mess with the Dominator.
Yeah. I am actually just going to reap with both of these, which means I'll get 2 ember. I'll draw up. Ready these guys?
All right, we'll do the Mars faction again. We're going to bring in Tunk. He just has a lasting effect. After you play another Mars creature, he gets fully healed. So he'll come in exhausted. Meanwhile, because I picked Mars, I'll also attack with the Dominator. Mm-hmm. And I can only attack 1 card. Yeah. Well, let's kill Silvertooth then.
Okay. So this one is, he's going to be dead because he's going to take 9 damage. This one's going to do 2 damage over here because it happens simultaneously.
Right.
So this one is going to go there, and that's the. You can ready your guys and draw.
Ready him, and then I'll draw a card. Puts me at 6 cards.
All right, I am going to play this action card from this. I'm going to be using this faction the whole turn, and for each remaining card I play this turn, I draw a card. So I'm also going to play this card, which this allows me to gain an amber as I play it. So I'm going to put it there like that, and because I played that, I'm going to draw another card because of this guy's ability right there, and I'm going to bring in this creature where it has that skirmish action, and if I fight and successfully fight and still living, I can draw a card when that comes in. But he comes in exhausted, just like this, and that is all I will do right now. So I will ready.
That was plenty.
And that's that.
All right, I think I'm going to use the Mars. I don't have any Mars cards, but I want to be able to use these guys. So I can reap with both of my Mars, correct?
Yes, you can exhaust and reap.
Those go directly to my...
Yep.
So they exhaust, but then I'll unexhaust them instantly. And I didn't play any cards in my
hand. So you reaped with both of these,
Yep.
which gave you 2 amber.
Yep.
And now you're readying and you're drawing, and it's going to be my turn.
You're up.
All right. I am going to play my favorite shadows, guys.
Uh-oh. Not this faction again.
Yeah. I'm going to play Nerve Blast, and as I play it, I steal 1 ember, and if I do, deal 2 damage to a creature.
Oh, and that allows you to steal from here, right?
Yes, so I'm going to steal from here. I'm going to steal 1 over here, and then if I do so...
you deal 2 damage to a creature.
Yes. So I will deal 3... I'll do 2 damage to this creature, which will kill it.
Well, he's got a defensive 1, right? Does that come into play here?
Yeah.
So you're hitting for 1, though, still.
So since I played the Shadow faction, I'm going to go ahead and fight with this one. And so I'm going to fight this one, and this one will do 5 damage, this one will do 9. They're both just going to die. I just want to get rid of that Mars, guys, because I think you have cards that do a lot of stuff with different, if you have a certain amount of Mars out and things.
So these slide over?
Yeah. By the way, I should have said check at the end of my turn because I have enough to forge a key at the beginning of my next turn.
You do, unfortunately. I'm going to pick the Dis faction and bring in this artifact, which is going to come in exhausted. When I do unexhaust it, I could sacrifice it if I want, and my opponent won't be able to play any creatures on their next turn.
Since it's an Omni ability, it can be used on each turn, regardless of which house you pick.
Right, and he also has the icon here that shows that I get another amber.
Nice.
So that one is in play, and then I'm also going to utilize the Terror here to reap.
Okay, so
that gets exhausted. I get another ember that way, and then I can ready this as well as this artifact.
All right.
And then I draw up to 6 cards again. Your turn.
Okay, I am going to bring these 2 creatures into play. I'm going to be using this fire faction there, and so basically I'm going to bring those in. They're going to come in exhausted. One of them is really, this one's like super powerful. I can use them when I don't even use that faction. So I'm going to bring these in exhausted. I'm going to put 1 here and 1 here because you have to put them on the end somewhere, either ones or both. And these ones come in exhausted, and then I am going to exhaust the Troll to reap, and it has a reap ability that it heals 3 damage. So it heals 3 damage. I'm going to reap, which will give me amber. By the way, at the beginning of my turn, I should have turned in 6 of these to gain 1 of the 3 keys. Just missed that at the beginning, but then this guy's going to give me the 1 for reaping, and that's it. I'm going to unexhaust, get ready, and draw. First 1 of 3 keys wins.
All right, you've got a lot of strong guys out there.
Uh-oh. This is going to be kill every creature thing.
So let's do the Dis faction again.
Ugh, you're killing me. I had a really good plan.
Literally killing you.
I had a good plan.
So yeah, we're going to bring in the Gateway to Dis. When I play him, he instantly destroys each creature. That includes my own, unfortunately.
Oh.
And it also gives me 3 chains, which means I'll draw less cards.
You'll draw 1 less when you're in this line of the...
But this kills my guys and all of yours as well. I think it's the time.
Ouch.
So we'll bring these all out. Actually, let's see. He was wounded, right?
Yeah.
Before I play this card, I'll have him reap, because I'm picking that faction.
Sure.
So I'll reap, and then I'll bring that out, which kills everybody.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. I had a really good turn planned next turn, and now I can't do it.
And you just had too much firepower on the table. I couldn't let that last. I think I am going to sacrifice this artifact from before. It says your opponent cannot play creatures on their next turn. So that one's out of play, but you're not going to be able to play any creatures now.
Okay.
And because I have chains, I don't draw up any cards because I'm at 5.
Okay. Well, since I can't play any creatures, I'm going to pick this faction, this house, and I'm going to discard it because you can play or discard as many as you want from that house. I cannot play the creature, but I can discard it. So I'm basically playing this house, and the only thing I'm going to do is discard this, and then I'm going to draw back up, and it's your turn.
All right. I'm going to use the Sanctum faction, and I'm going to bring out both of these guys. They have an ability that when they reap, they can use a friendly non-Sanctum creature as well. So these guys come out exhausted. I'll ready them, and then I'll draw up 2 cards. Your turn.
Okay, I am going to play this fire faction here, firehouse. Okay, so I'm going to play both of these, and they're both creatures that I'm bringing in. This one stuns a creature, so we can I'll just use this for a stun marker for right now. This character here is just going to be stunned, and this one says before a fight, I can deal 1 damage to each enemy creature. They come in exhausted, but I'm not going to do anything else, so they ready back up, and I'm going to draw.
All right, we're going to do the Dis faction again, your favorite. We're going to bring in this Ember Imp. He has an instant effect that my opponent cannot play more than 2 cards each turn.
Oof.
So he comes in like this, and then we'll also do this action, the Gun Goozle. When I play him, he deals 3 damage to a creature. If it is not destroyed, its owner discards a random card from their hand. So we'll do 3 damage to this guy.
It says each creature?
Deal 3 damage to a creature.
Okay.
Yeah. Although you do have a shield here, so I guess that would actually be 2. So you have to discard a card randomly. I hope it was a good one. Ugh. Oh, by the way, that reminds me. Seeing your Ember that you just discarded means I get to add one. I got to add one with this card as well.
Oh, yeah.
He had the emblem on there.
And you have enough to make at the beginning of your next turn.
So yeah, I got to say check there. And I don't think I'm going to do anything else with this. So this is readied. All right, I'll draw up 2 cards, which puts me at my new hand limit at 5 because of my chains.
I'm going to pick the Shadows faction. I'm going to play, and that allows me to steal 1 Amber. And if I do 2 damage to a creature. So over here, I'm going to steal 1 from here. Yep. And I'm going to deal damage to this creature, which will get rid of it. And this is the one that was only allowing me to play up to 2 cards.
Yeah.
So 2 damage, that one's gone. This action card goes away.
Those Ember Imps never last long.
I'm going to draw back up, and it's your turn.
All right, let's go for the Sanctum faction again. We're going to bring this guy into play, exhausted. He has taunt, which means the creature's neighbor cannot be attacked unless you have a taunt ability. Okay. So I'm using the Sanctum faction, which means I can pull off his stun.
And he's sort of unstunned, but he can't do anything else.
He can't do anything else. This guy will reap, however.
Okay, so he would exhaust to reap. He gets an Ember.
I'll unexhaust at the end of my turn.
And then you have enough to possibly make a key the next...
Check.
All right. I'm going to play the Shadows faction. Okay, first of all, routine job. I play this, I steal 1 Amber, and I steal 1 for each routine job in my discard pile. And if you remember, I played one of those earlier.
I hate this Shadow faction.
And it's my favorite. Yeah, I did play one of those earlier, and so I'll actually get to steal 2 Amber from that for this card. So I'll take 2 of these, steal them over here. And then I'm also going to bring in this from this faction. It is a creature. Now, when I play it, I steal an Ember, and it's elusive. So I'm going to bring this in exhausted. I'm going to steal another Ember. And I'm going to unexhaust, and then it's your turn.
It's bad enough that I lose Ember, but then you also gain.
I love the Shadow faction.
The Shadow faction.
Well, your Dis faction
kind
of does something like it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts your guys, but I'm not able to get Ember with it. So let's see what else I can do here. Okay, I'm going to do the Sanctum faction again. We'll bring this guy out. It looks like when he's destroyed, he'll heal each of my other friendly creatures, and I'll draw 2 cards each.
Okay.
Or sorry, just draw 2 cards. So we'll bring him in.
Exhausted.
Exhausted, yeah. And then I'll use these 3. I think I'm going to reap with all 3 of them. Of course,
so they would have been exhausted.
Yep. Unexhaust as well as him. And then I draw a card and you're up.
Okay.
And check, although I'm sure you'll steal them.
I'm going to actually play this Logi faction, I forget what it's called. This one allows, it's a creature, and then while this one is on a flank, a key costs me 1 less to do, so he's going to come in exhausted on this flank over here. And that is going to be it. I'm actually just going to ready him up, and it's going to be your turn.
Okay.
Which means you have 6 Ember, so you're going to be able to turn those in for one of your the first of 3 keys to win the game. Yep. And then we're tied 1 key to 1 key.
Yeah. You're awfully close to second, though. Okay, but what I can do here is I can pick Sanctum again. So we'll bring in this upgrade. This gives me an Ember because of the icon here. I'm going to throw him underneath this guy. We'll do it like this, so you can read it. And this gives him taunt, which means these guys also can't be attacked unless you have a taunt ability. Yep. And then I will utilize all 4 of these guys. I think we're gonna give ourselves 4 more of these.
Oof.
Since you're running away with it so far. All right. Back to you. So those all would be exhausted, unexhausted, drawing a card.
This one allows me to get a key for 1 less. I have 5 here, so I'm going to turn that in and get a second key.
Ah, that's right.
So it's 2 keys to 1. And we both have a lot of creatures up, but you have a lot of the same ones.
Uh-oh.
So
I don't like the sound of this. I'm going to pull out some card I've never seen before.
So I'm going to play this action card, and it's going to destroy every undamaged creature, but I have to take 3 chains. So everyone... so
That's yours as well.
Yes. So this one is going to kill everyone that's undamaged. So over here, all of these are dead. All of these are dead. The only one that's still alive is this one that actually had damage.
Wow.
So all these go into your discard pile. And because this upgrade was attached, it also goes in your discard pile. I had to wipe it clean, I think.
Those cards effectively, wipe everything.
But I have to take 3 chains, so I'm here. So now I am drawing 1 less. So instead of having 6, I only have 5 in my hand now, just like him right there.
Painful. I'm going to pick the Dis faction, Dan's favorite. I'm going to bring the Terror out. I love his name. When I play him, if your opponent has no Ember, which you don't, I get to gain 2.
Oh.
So those go there. And then I'm also going to play this action. It says Control the Weak. When I play him, I choose a house on my opponent's identity card, and they... so I get to effectively choose who he gets to play. I'm going to pick this one, what's it say?
The fire one.
Yeah, the Brobnar.
Brobnar.
So that's the faction you have to play, which means you can't play the Shadow faction.
Okay.
That's the important thing.
Oh, yeah, because you've got enough to make
So that one's
key.
discarded. Let me check to see if I want to do any other discards. Yeah, I'll bring out this Ember Imp as well. It says your opponent cannot play more than 2 cards each turn. So bring that guy out, and then I'll drop to my hand limit. And by the way, check.
All right, so I'm going to play that Brobnar faction. I have to. And I am just going to fight with it.
Okay.
So we're going to exhaust it. And this one, before fight, deal 1 to each enemy creature. So these each get 1 before the fight.
Ooh, that means you get to take them out.
And then I'm going to use this guy to fight this guy. And I think they're both going to die because this one does 5 damage, this one does 5 damage.
Yes.
But this one has 1 armor, so it does 4, but you still 6.
But it still takes
so they're
it
both
out.
going to be gone, but I was forced to play a faction I wasn't intending to play, and that was the best thing I got.
That was the goal. I don't mind losing a guy if it prevents you from stealing my Ember.
I can only draw up to 5 because of my chain.
So it's back to me. I'm going to turn in these 6. Oops. I'm going to turn in these 6 and keep 1 to get another key. Puts me at 2 of the 3. I'm going to pick the Mars faction. We're going to bring out good old John Smith. This is one I think there's like 3 of in this deck. He's elusive, which means the first time he's attacked, he doesn't take any damage. We'll bring him out exhausted. And then we'll also bring out this Marauder. He gets a +1 power for each Ember on him. And he also, when you play him, he captures 1 Ember for each friendly ready Mars creature. Unfortunately, he's not ready, but I got to get these guys out.
All right.
And then I'll also bring out an upgrade. This I'll add to John Smith. It says that this creature gains a Reap action, which says choose a creature, deal a damage to that creature for each Mars creature in play.
And you get an Ember for playing that.
And I get an Ember for playing it.
Wow.
So put that on John Smith. We'll ready those. And then I'll drop to my hand limit of 5 because of my chains.
Okay.
You're up. Now you can play any faction you want, but you cannot play more than 2 cards each turn.
Yep.
Don't forget the Ember Imp.
So I'm going to play this faction here, the Logi faction. This one, I gain 1 Ember for each key that the other player has forged. So because you have forged 2 keys, I'm going to gain 2 Ember.
Nice timing with
now
that
this
one.
was a creature, so it is going to come in here into play exhausted. And then I'm also going to play, I can only play 2 cards because of that ability, right, that you have going on.
Right, the Ember Imp.
This one allows me to, it's an action card, and I basically,
It's
it's
an
an
artifact.
artifact. So this is going to be exhausted next to my line there.
But you can ready it and then use it next turn.
Yeah. And then that's it.
Okay. And then I'll use the Mars faction. We'll bring in another John Smith. Told you these guys are a dime a dozen. So he comes in, tapped or exhausted. So he comes in, exhausted. So then we're going to utilize these guys. So we're going to Reap with him.
Let's go ahead and exhaust him with the Reap.
When you Reap with him, he also readies a non-agent Mars creature.
Yeah.
So this guy comes like that.
Yeah.
So then he can Reap as well.
Wow. So both of those are exhausted now from Reaping.
Right, so those are both exhausted. But this way, I remember I reaped down here. This gives me this additional reap. So I choose a creature, deal a damage to that creature for each Mars creature in play. So he gets hit for 3.
Okay. Wow. Nice job.
Meanwhile, this guy also is reaping.
Wow.
And they're all exhausted. And then we'll unexhaust. Draw up to my hand limit of 5 because of my chains. And it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to play this faction here. Each player loses half of their ember rounded down.
Ooh, that
so we're both
you.
Yeah, we're both going to lose 2 ember.
Yeah.
So we both lose 2.
Well, you would lose only 1, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I only lose 1. And then I'm going to play this one as a creature. It's going to come out, and I gain 1 for each of the keys that you forged. Oh. So I'm going to gain 2. This one comes out as a creature. Combo. This was an action. This one goes away. And now I am going to reap with this one, which will give me another ember. So they're all ready up. I will also activate my
your artifact. Yeah.
So this one allows me to archive up to 2 cards. So I'm gonna take 2 cards and put them in my archive. It's face down. It's a pile that I can get at the beginning of my turn. Yeah, and so this will get archived as well as the 2 cards that I placed there. And archives on step 2 of your turn, you can pull cards from that and add them to your hand. So this gets archived. Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna pick the Mars faction.
Okay.
I'm going to play this action, which actually I can't do, but I do still get this. The action of it is that I would reveal Mars cards from my hands and get cards for each one I revealed, but I don't have any Mars cards in my hand, so that goes away. But I can still use these Mars guys as well. So with this one, I will reap. With this one, I will also reap.
And exhaust them as you reap them?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I think instead of reaping with this guy, I'm going to reap with this one. So when he reaps, he also gets to deal 1 damage to that creature for each Mars creature in play. So I think we're going to take this guy out.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll reap. So that was used. And then we'll reap with this guy.
Wow. Oof, you got enough to win if I can't stop you on the next turn.
Yeah, so that's check. Remember, you can only play 2 cards. I'll drop to 5 based off of my chains, and you're up.
Well, unfortunately, I think this is checkmate. I do have a Shadows, but unfortunately it's not going to do as much. I do gain an Ember for that, so I'll gain 1 Ember. And I do 4 damage to a flank. So this one, let's just say he's dead. But that's all I can really do. I don't have anything else, and you will get your 3rd key for 6 Ember, and you win.
All right, that was a close one.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's take it back up top and talk about it. All right, well, there it was, a full game. Now, I got to first say that we did not play that game that fast. We edited out like every dead space. So when you see someone do a move and then, hey, I'm going to play right back and forth, we weren't playing. I mean, I play from the hip normally, but not that much from the hip. So if you saw like, wow, they were playing really fast, it was about a 30-minute game. It really took us about 45 minutes total.
Sure.
But we edited a lot of that out, so just for people to get a feel for the what the timing was. But this game felt very different from every other game we played.
Yeah, and it was the closest one yet.
Yeah, not only was it the closest one, it's the first one that we've seen a huge disparity of like keys. I got a huge lead. I think I had 2 keys before you even had 1, or like you were getting your
right.
first one and I had just finished my second. Like I had a pretty good lead, and you came all the way back and were able to beat me.
Yeah, it seems like in the past, usually the person who pulled ahead early also stayed in front. So to have you take an early lead and then have me catch up, it was a much more dynamic, exciting. I'm glad this is the one we actually put on tape. Because not only because I won,
yeah.
but I think it was like a more exciting, interesting play of it to watch.
Yeah, he's given me crap in the past because a lot of times we'll play things like 2 or 3 times on playthroughs and we'll take the best one, and it always ends up being the one that I win.
The best one?
Yeah, it always just happens to be the one that I win. But it's usually because that one was the most interesting game, and this one was pretty interesting.
This was an interesting game, yeah, for sure.
But this time, you, for the first time, really got into the saddle of that Mars faction.
Well, part of it is the cards just felt like they came out in a better order, too. And there's always going to be that luck element in a game like this, is when you draw the cards, if you draw them at a good time. I got a lot of the strong Mars cards early, which was a big help. Some of those Mars cards in the past, I played the whole game and didn't ever see one of them.
Yeah.
So I felt like it just worked better. Of course, I was more experienced too, more used to playing the factions, but it also helped that the draws just felt like they were in my favor.
Yeah, the order of your cards that you draw makes a big difference. Like, I had a card right at the beginning of the game that said, you get 1 amber for each key the other player has forged. Now, I ended up playing that later in the game, but I had that card since the beginning.
Right.
I probably should have tried to use a card that archived that so I could get, drop my hand and get it later. But it's interesting how things change. And I also have that one where I can, take all of the round down. Everyone removes half rounded down. In a previous game, I was able to basically steal some amber, make a key, get rid of all my amber. He had a ton of it, and then the next card I played allowed me to, on the next turn, allowed me to wipe his out. And so the timing of the cards and how they interlock are really cool, but the order of it does make a big difference.
The Shadow Faction's the worst.
I don't know. As you guys saw, the Dis Faction.
The Dis Faction's
pretty
mean.
much and then, okay, so this brings up a good thing.
Yeah.
Shadow Faction and Dis Faction. So in real life, I tend to be, I guess, not a jerk. But in games, I like to be a jerk, mostly because...
You get that aggression out.
Yeah, I take it out in games so I don't do it in person.
So you're not punching someone in traffic.
So this brings up a good thing about the faction. So it just so happens that the 2 decks that we have, neither of the 2 decks had any overlap between the 3 houses.
Right, which is not always going to be the case, obviously.
Right. We could have both had the Mars faction, for example.
Sure.
And it would have been really interesting to see, even with that, do we have any of the same cards? Are they different? Are they ones you haven't seen yet?
Yeah.
So I really like the Shadow Faction. I like the Dis Faction. So part of me wants to, once this comes out, is find a 3rd house that I really like, and then try to find a deck that has all 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to shadow you to death, I'm going to dis you to death, and then I want some big powerful faction or something like that, right?
Yeah, some combat heavy faction or something. No, I agree.
I think that's the coolest part of this game.
I think you will find factions that you like, but because you have to play with that deck, you can't just pick and choose and make your own ideal deck. You've got to buy and buy and buy until you find that deck that combines them.
Right.
And then hopefully, like you said, as you play, they come out in a good order. But yeah, I like the Dis Faction as well, and I like that it seems so powerful, but usually it also hurts you as well. So you have to make
gaining
tough calls.
Chains and stuff.
Yeah, you get chains, or you kill everyone that they have, but you also kill all of yours as well. Yeah. So you got to make those tough calls.
Yeah, I've never really been huge into collectible card games. I played Magic in college. I bought some cards here and there, but I didn't go crazy with it.
Yeah.
This, for me, is a much better way to play that style of game where I don't have to worry about just whoever spent the most money and created the best deck wins. You're dealt a deck.
Yeah.
You got to figure out your deck. You really got to know it. You got to learn, as Richard said, welcome to the jungle. You're trying to figure out what cards, even using the cards that aren't as powerful in a way that helps you to win.
Yeah, it's about, in the moment, being able to assess the best strategy and the best way to play your cards, the best tactics. It's about your wits, not about your pocketbook, not about your wallet, what you can afford to buy.
So if I find a deck with the Shadow and the Dis, I'm guessing you're not going to want to play me.
I don't even want to play you now with that stupid Shadow. I'm glad I pulled out the win finally on this one, because that Shadow Faction has just slammed me so many times.
Yeah. So, do you think you'll buy a bunch of decks?
I'm tempted to pick this up. Yeah, I mean, I have also never delved that deep into CCGs or LCGs. I'm just always that money sink part of it that's turned me off to it. But this is tempting. You could buy that base box, buy a couple of decks, and it feels like you could play it a lot. There's a lot of replayability here.
So maybe when more decks do come out, or if I possibly get my hand on some more before it comes out, maybe we'll play with some more decks and do maybe another playthrough later.
That would be fun. I'd love to, yeah.
Well, this has been the Game Boy Geek, and this has been
Greg Dickson from the podcast Hooked on Geek.
And they can find you
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. There's Hooked on Geek everywhere there, and we put out new episodes every Monday. Check us out.
So this has been a Game Boy Geek, helping you find and enjoy the next board game you'll love. This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.